Hello, welcome to The Right Side. I'm Renee Wright. Today I want to share with you a fact. The fact is, I am controlling, a control freak. And I've heard that most of my life. And I think in another video, when I confessed to being a Karen, I think I kind of explained how I feel my controlling behaviors became more controlling. It's what people put on me, and so I embraced it, and I proudly carried that capital C on my chest. I was seriously controlling, and it was so much so that people used to use the word as a negative statement toward me, and then I'd be offended. But I'm going to show you how I took a negative self judgment and turned it into positive self-awareness. And this goes back to all the things that I say about things are internal and how we have to take care of what's inside of us, our limiting beliefs, our core beliefs. We have to take care of them. So giving you an example of my controlling, what I did was I as I say to you sometimes, I walk myself back from controlling behavior. And right now, there's something going on in my family that normally I'd be on top of, and I'd need to be at the center of the phone calls and the information. And even if I didn't want to, people would do that. They would call and they would, because they have to, feed this monster inside of me. And, it was a terrible cycle. But what I realize now, as I take time to learn who I am, why I am, my reactions and things like that, I'm learning that, okay, so I am controlling and I'm working on it. So, in the instance of an event that we have coming up this week, I thought to myself, okay, what would happen if you were not in control? And this is me talking to me. What would happen if you were not in control? And I'm thinking things are going to go bad. Okay, things are going to go bad. But how would that affect me if things go bad? Well, if things go bad, I feel like I let people down. Like, I could have done more to make it a better event. Okay, then you ask yourself, well, what if you let people down? How does that affect your life if they're let down? Someone outside of you is let down. How does that affect me? Well, I thought then I'd feel useless. I'd feel worthless. I could have changed something and I didn't, so now I feel worthless. And that right there is the core belief that I have. I feel worthless when I'm not in control, and that's the connection. But the fact of the matter is, of course, I'm not worthless. Even when I'm in control, all of those same things can happen. So I cannot possibly be worthless. And if you have a struggle trying to walk yourself back to what your core belief is and how to separate your core belief from your limiting belief and the other things you have going on, just keep going until it really is only about you. If this happens, how does that affect your life? If this happens, how does that affect your life? You keep taking it back. The fact of the matter is, I'm not worthless. I'm far from worthless. And if I'm not in control, I'm still not worthless. And if the party or the event fails, I'm still not worthless. I'm not a failure. And if people feel let down, I'm still not worth it. It sounds simple. Some things are more simple than others, but you have to be willing to get in touch with that part of you that lets external things excite them. See, me being controlling created lots of conflict in my life with everyone. All of my relationship, my employment, because I need to be in control, because that gave me my superpower. Michelle is in control, everything must be okay. And the second it looked like it wasn't going to be okay, I lose it. I lose it. Now, whether I lose it on, someone in my immediate presence, I may bring it home and hit my family with it. I mean, it was out of control. I was out of control in my attempt to be controlling. So if that's you, and there's lots of these. I just identify one of mine. I have other core beliefs that are controlling my life, that are affecting my life, that are making me, and I'm working on them because they're not all this simple. They're not easy. but they're worth investigating because these are the things that are affecting your outer conflict most often. It is some core belief that you have about yourself that is showing itself in a negative way. So if you can't figure out what it is, if there's a behavior that you regret often or you wish you didn't employ, and you feel like you can't control that behavior, you can't stop, you can't help being jealous, you can't help procrastinating, you can't help, some of these emotions that you feel like you can't help them, but you can. You just have to be willing to put in the work and really dig down inside to what it is. And it may be a painful thing. And it was put there long before the situation you're in now. It was put there many years ago, possibly in your childhood, possibly several relationships ago, several friendships ago, jobs ago. It could have been placed there and then been growing. And now it is something that you feel like you can't get the best of. And if that's you, I'm here. Give me a call, shoot me an email. Let's try to figure out what that core belief that is making you feel externally and causing so much conflict in your life. All right? I hope